Tell me I'm lying.
You're lying. Either one.
Okay.
He's full of it.
Ready, Mr. Mayor? 2026 Benton Council meeting. Can I get a call to order and roll call, please?
Elwick.
Here.
Cassinius.
Here.
Parmenter.
Here.
Raker.
Here.
Sellers. Starkmouth.
All right, we all rise and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Zach, second by Tammy, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, now it's time for a presentation of certificate of accreditation for the Benton Police Department. Chief.
It's a grand moment. I want to bring up Mike Venema. He is the director for ILEAP. I'm not even going to try to explain the acronym. I'll let Mike do that for you. But we were presented this award at the conference.
Yep, Iowa Police Chiefs Conference.
And we thought it's fitting that we present in front of you as well. So, Mike.
Set this here for now. Good evening, Mayor Maynard, council members, and the citizens of Benton. Tonight we celebrate an important milestone for your community and recognize the outstanding work of the Benton Police Department. Your police department has voluntarily undertaken and achieved accreditation through the Iowa Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, a challenging process that reflects deep commitment to professionalism, transparency, and continuous improvement. This is more than a certificate. It's a recognition of excellence in modern policing. Accreditation ensures that the department follows current professional standards, delivers law enforcement services effectively and efficiently, and reduces risk and liability for both the agency and its members. The process formalizes key management procedures, builds staff confidence, and strengthens public trust. It also provides an outside independent validation that the department is meeting high standards and is committed to ongoing evaluation and improvement. By earning this distinction, the Benton Police Department demonstrates that it has a strong set of written directives, welcomed outside critique, and is committed to regularly updating its policies and procedures. Chief Paxton and all members of the department, your professionalism and dedication reflect great credit upon this city. On behalf of the Iowa Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, congratulations and thank you for your commitment to your profession. So.
Absolutely.
Sheriff, where
This
would
is
you like
your
to?
department, Chief.
Where would you like to be for a photo here?
Right here.
Okay.
You should build a pyramid, Ted should be on top.
Get the rest of your department up there.
Tennille, you, obviously Tennille needs.
Be a corner.
Tall kids in the back.
Kids in the back.
Yeah, tall kids in the back. How did I get elected photographer? One more. Okay, there we go.
I'd just like to say thanks
Good
for
job.
council and mayor's support with our department. So.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Very
Appreciate
much.
you very much.
Congratulations again.
No way.
All right, now I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Wes. Anybody got any comments, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Now I get a motion to receive, now it's time to receive and file communication petitions and remonstrances.
I've not received any,
Think I got anything either.
except for stop raining.
Moving on,
Knock
committee
on wood,
reports.
And,
We had a work session here earlier. We discussed parking for some downtown apartments. That'll be getting brought back up to a future council meeting and possibly changing that requirement. We also talked about the heights of fences in the historical district and across the city. That's gonna go into more further discussion, I assume, if we can actually change anything. And we're pleased with a presentation by the Behavioral Health Services of the Iowa Primary Care Association. That'll be taking up some time over at the Benton County Services Building.
Councilmember Starkman Hood, earlier today, you met with the engineer.
Oh,
yeah.
Councilmember Sellers.
we did, we met with, the engineer regarding the bridge project. Just to discuss the propositions gonna be made to the homeowners, the 3 homeowners affected. That's it.
Super. More to come on that? Anything else? All right, moving on to citizen input. Council won't take any action on the comments of this meeting, but we might do so at a future meeting. Anybody? Anybody? All right, no more. I don't see anybody out there except for you on there, Chris. All right, moving on to old business. I need a motion approval of third consideration and adoption of ordinance 1115 and ordinance amending provisions pertaining to peddlers, solicitors, and transient merchants.
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Dakota, second by Tammy. Anybody got a question on that? If not, roll call, please.
Elwood.
Yep.
Harmader.
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Sellers.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach to adopt said ordinance. Anybody got questions? Not, roll call.
Raker.
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes?
Elwood.
Yes.
Vasinius.
Yeah.
Harmader.
Yes.
Real quick, the police department's gonna do like community outreach on that, or what? Like they'll make a post or something?
I have a press release
Thank you.
drafted that we'll throw. My intentions even hit the live wire. Notify the community of the new process, encouraging them to call if they have questions.
Yep.
And we're gonna put a picture, the lanyard,
Of the
that's a big
lanyard.
change. So we got a plan.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, item B, now I need motion approval of second consideration of ordinance 1116 and ordinance amending provisions pertaining to drug paraphernalia.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wes, second by, we're just gonna go with Zach on that. Anybody got any questions? Roll call, please.
Vasinius.
Yep.
Raker.
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes?
Elwood.
Yes.
Harmader.
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to new business. Item A, I need motion approval of first consideration of ordinance 1117 and ordinance adding a new subsection regarding yield required.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach. This is that, over on Ninth,
Correct.
yes. Kind of replacing the dip sign with the yield sign, is that the same spot?
The road's too nice.
Perfect. Anybody else got any questions on that? If not, get a roll call, please.
Sellers.
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes?
Vasinius.
Yep.
Elwood.
Yes.
Harmader.
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, moving on to B, need approval of processional services agreement for Celebration Park wall repair.
Motion.
Second?
Motion. Thank you. Motion by Ron, second by Tammy. All right, kids, what you got?
Well, Scott had reached out about fixing the erosion that's taking place at the bottom of the stairs or the wall in Celebration Park. And the reason it kind of took so long to get here was we wanted to do some research and figure out exactly what was going to be required from the Corps of Engineers, the DNR, because this is quite obviously in the floodplain, impact by Corps of Engineers permits, things like that. The good news is, this is going to be a very quick, easy repair permit from the Corps of Engineers because it was properly permitted the first time around. So congratulations, you did the right thing the first time around. Makes this really easy. The DNR does not sound like they're going to give us too much trouble either. So the trick is, how do we actually fix this so it's as permanent a fix as we can within economic reason? I don't know yet. That's the question. So we need to take some measurements. We need to figure out, I need to go to my experts and figure out what the best solution for this is and bring it back to you guys. So in front of you is a time and materials proposal, not a lump sum like we would normally bring. It is not an upper limit. This is really, okay, we need to wrap our minds around this. What is the best way to actually fix this so this doesn't happen again, at least in our lifetimes? Which we still can't guarantee because Mother Nature is way stronger than we are. But that is what the proposal is for, is to figure out what the solution is. But the good news is the heavy lift, we don't have to remodel the whole Cedar River, nothing like that, that we were a little scared that that was gonna cost more than what the fix was. So, good news.
And you had this budgeted. Did we not talk about this?
We did for next year. We had, well, this year I was gonna pull the agreement out of. Next year, we didn't budget for it because we don't know. We have money, in our Parks Capital 960 that we could put towards it to cover it, depending on $50,000 fix or $10,000 fix. So,
You said there's no upper end on your T&E.
Again, we don't know what it is, so it's,
I can't leave it open-ended, Nate. I gotta have
We-
some sort of cap. I can't let it roll up to $100,000 in engineering fees.
so the way we're gonna handle this would be, if we get to that if we get to the estimate, we're gonna talk about what we have left. I don't think we're gonna hit that estimate, to be
Okay.
honest. If we get there, we're gonna talk about it before we go over it. So it's not a hard upper limit, but we're definitely gonna have a conversation before we exceed it.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to hear it out of your mouth here.
Yes,
So-
and it's on record, so.
So,
and it went through our board this morning, and that was kind of the same thing that they voiced going into it. They approved it, pending your guys' direction on it. So.
Okay, any questions on that one?
Could you throw in a boat dock? I'm kidding.
Don't let, yeah, I was gonna say, Court might have something to say about that.
She's not kidding.
And for the record, didn't I bring this up when they put that in, that, hey, you're gonna have to put that into the bank so it doesn't erode out from underneath that?
I probably,
No, it's okay. Just for the record.
Now, one of the challenges, especially with the weather that we've had recently, is the river level is gonna make this challenging to obviously get our surveying, our measurements done, and then obviously timing of any repair that gets done. It's gonna be a lot easier if it's low water than high water.
Just wait a month, it'll be low.
Yeah.
So, just
It'll be
fair
really low
warning.
this winter.
Yeah, this is just fair warning. I mean, we are gonna be somewhat limited on what we can and can't do right away. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on the river levels. So we'll be in close contact with Scott. The next project that's on the agenda as well, so.
All right. I get a roll call on that one.
Farmader,
Yes.
Elwick,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahud,
yes,
Raker,
Yes.
Husenius.
Yep.
All right, item C, now need motion approval of professional service agreement for the Third Avenue storm sewer repair.
motion,
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Zach.
So this is kind of a similar situation. The main reason, the estimate they have in front of you would be to design the fix that would replace the intake on Second Avenue, or excuse me, Second Street, at the intersection of Third Avenue and Second Street, out to the river. Our recommendation at this point would be to install a concrete apron end section, not necessarily like a big head wall or anything like that. Unless you want to put a check valve on, then that would ratchet up. But if you don't want to put any sort of check valve on the end of that pipe, then we just recommended an apron end section. You'd actually bolt that back a couple of pieces so it doesn't get ripped off in a flood or something like that. We replace the riprap on the riverbank and then run all new pipe back to that first intake and put in a proper intake at that intersection via small street patch repair. So that's what the estimate covers. The reason this one is open-ended is to give you guys some flexibility because you have some options on what to do with this. It could just be repairing the actual break out by the river. From our standpoint, it's really not much more work to just do what I just described going all the way to the intake. But if that's all you want to do from a repair cost perspective, you have that option. You could just do that piece. My suggestion, if you're going to do it, go to that first structure, get the proper structure in. That was my discussion with Scott. He agreed with that. Thought that would be better for the entire situation. You also have the option of upsizing this pipe. You look at the area that drains through this intersection and this pipe out to the river, it's quite sizable. Can fairly confidently say this is undersized. Now, how big should it be? And that's why this is a time and materials proposal is we could spend a little bit more money. This would be a desktop exercise. We can estimate how big that pipe should be for modern SUDAS standards. Is that a 48-inch pipe? Is it a 60-inch pipe? I don't know. That's where the quick desktop evaluation, probably looking at about $2,500 to do that. Obviously, that's going to be a significant increase in material costs for the actual repair. Why would you want to do that? If you do future street projects, now you can enhance your storm sewer and actually put in better drainage for the entire area. And that drains up, all the way to 7th Street,
And then up to,
or 7th Avenue, I should say, which would be the railroad tracks, and then off
Up
off
to
to the
4th
east
Street.
away. So, I mean, it's a sizable area, but it's really up to you guys. So that's why this one is also brought to you open-ended, but the estimate is based on that. Just put it back the same size it was from the river to the first intake.
But the entire pipe, like you're talking, would need to be increased. We would just be increasing the last chunk of it.
My suggestion would be just this run at this time, but size it appropriately. So if you wanted to continue up to
Yeah.
3rd Street, 4th Street, 5th Street, anywhere up there. I mean, you've already done a lot of work farther south already, but there's a lot of water that, like 4th, that's on your future street plan. You could improve some drainage in a lot of areas by upsizing this pipe. Maybe it's not as far out as I think it is, but like I said, I look at it and I think that's, by modern standards, that would be undersized.
And you're saying you can come up with that $2,500 or something like that?
Rough guess, that would be additional what this is. The engineer that designs the design, whether we use, it's a number on a pipe for us. We just make
Well,
sure
we
you
just
got
have
enough
Scott
cover.
give us an idea.
what's that?
Can you give us an idea how big? I mean, we can save $2,500.
If you do 60, it'd be good.
Well,
So, can we put an inline Tyflex check valve in that, so
You
if
could.
it does flood and it can still flow out?
You could.
Just by back pressures and in pressures?
Yeah, the Tyflex, I was talking to Scott about that too. The ones on the end of the pipe are better, but you're paying for the head wall at that point because you're already gonna want to protect that. Because, I mean, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars on a valve that size. You could do an inline one and then it's inherently protected. Access to it gets a little bit tricky, but it can be done. You may actually want to look at putting it upstream as opposed on the outside the intake at 3rd Avenue, or 3rd Street, excuse me. Then I'm getting my avenues and streets mixed up. Second Street,
And
3rd
Third
Avenue. So the intake, the intersection, you may want to consider putting it there. But that's also something we would look at. What are the pros and cons? Maintenance, access, things like that are all things we think about. But inline is definitely an option.
Because it'll help keep the river from backing all the way up in.
Correct.
So, when it gets up there.
The big thing with that is, and we don't have to get into all the bloody details tonight, but consider the cost benefit. Are you really protecting anything at that point, or are you just plugging the pipe? If you're already having to put HESCO barriers up, and where is the flood water coming from? Is really the $1 million question when it comes to that stuff.
That would be one of them. That intake's inside the ESCO barriers.
That does, they put a pump on it.
And we could stop that by having
So-
a check valve in there.
Yeah, if it's inside the HESCOs, then yeah.
Well,
check.
that one's out, but the other one, I think.
I thought that was in there too.
No, because they put the sidewalk on the west side of it.
They need to redo the check valve. ESCOs anyhow. Make them easier. Anyhow,
So
I just don't want to add to the problem if we can potentially correct it now.
absolutely. But when we looked at it, it was outside the I understood it was outside the protected area, which is why, well, then you probably don't need to spend the money on check flex. Again, those Tyflex are quite expensive, but they do work really well.
Okay. Any questions on that one?
You don't have to decide tonight what direction you want to go. This is more of let's get the surveying done, let's get something going as far as that. And if we decide to change a pipe, well, then we just hit the pause button, we do our quick review, and then we can adjust accordingly. If that's something that you wanna talk about at the committee level, we can do that too. It's how fast do you want this to move? But we wanted to get the agreement in front of you so that now we can move at whatever pace you guys want to.
Personally, I think we need to get it engineered and sized correctly for future and for everything else.
I think so too.
So that part will be on there. So. All right. Roll call, please.
Basinius,
Yep.
Elwick,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Sellers,
Yes.
Stark Mahut.
Yes.
All righty.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Nate.
All right, item D, now you motion approval of generator maintenance agreement with Altar for the wastewater treatment plant and Stony Arch lift station.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Zach. Craig?
The biggest thing is getting the load test on them. So,
They haven't load tested them?
yeah, but like Stony Arch, it doesn't hardly ever get used, and those little pumps don't, do what it needs to do to it, to really work it, so,
But if your big one, your new one passed the load test.
oh, yeah, but it's up and going.
But this is gonna be all maintenance, filters and everything else, right,
Is that really what it costs to service that?
Mhm.
That's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil, a lot of filters too.
Wow. Back a truck up.
He just stopped in, so
See you,
I
Nate.
thought I'd, see what you thought. I know we do the maintenance on the Stony Arch one, but, every once in a while we have to
Isn't that the one that needs the
call
valves?
those guys in to,
Isn't that the one that needs the valves adjusted? Or is that the new one?
no, I wouldn't do no, it's a little bit beyond our scope.
Yeah, I guess my question is like the service for just the oil changes is that much too? Not the.
Just wait, I thought you were still asking
No,
questions.
no, I just have a hard time grasping that. But
I was just pausing, waiting for
I
you.
know, that's,
All right. I'll take a roll call then.
Elwick,
Yes.
Parmenter,
Yes.
Sellers,
yes.
Stark Mahut,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Basinius.
All right, item E, need a motion approval of trench safety equipment for the National Trench Safety.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by Andrew. So I actually had him go look at this. One of my big pet peeves is we're digging these water mains up and we're not protecting our guys in the field and the hole. And if we don't supply that stuff for them, we are gonna be guilty, because it's not a matter of if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be a when. We don't have any trench safety stuff.
Used to.
So I asked Craig to go out and get quotes on this, because I am not gonna let that happen without proper stuff.
If they're doing the work, they need the equipment.
So,
I was just wondering if you drive to Des Moines to pick it up for $1,500.
well, you might be able to. I'm sure they'd take that off if we just go get it.
What's that?
I said I bet they would take that delivery fee off.
Oh, sure.
I'll let you borrow a trailer.
Unless that's coming from like the factory or something,
Well, let's find out.
we can find out.
Where's the FOB to? Is the FOB to Des Moines? Or is it FOB?
Well, there's freight and then transportation surcharge, so if freight is what it costs to get it from Des Moines to here, that's quite a bit of money.
You wanna ask that, Craig? And
That'd be, if it's the 15%, let them deliver it for that much.
50% is the fuel increase.
Yeah, figure.
All right, did you get the 4 ways to go with this, or is that gonna be on a different?
That'd be on a, different one, but you have to pick which one of these, you.
Which one do you want is a better question. Cause I'm not gonna be in the trench, so.
Yeah, so you want the 2 end panels.
Probably, yeah. I mean, wider the better, obviously.
Well, you can get different legs for it, different spreader beams for them. You don't want them too wide, cause you might get to that, you wanna have the ability to go down to 4 and possibly go up to 6, I would say.
Right. They got, like on quote 562, they got 54-inch aluminum spreader. I don't know what the range is on that one. Is it a set?
Some of them are adjustable, but they have, some of you put drop pins in them.
Yeah, I'm all for this, but I wanna make sure you're getting the one that's gonna work best. I mean, have you done all your research on this and feel comfortable with one of these? or-
Yeah, those would be a fixed, I guess, on that one. Like 680, they're adjustable, so.
Yeah, I would get the adjustable ones, that way you got the play, you can get your end panels.
That'd be the bigger one, so.
So, number 8680.
Yeah.
Potentially say 1380.
Yeah, I can find out about the free to take that off if we went to wherever it got it. Florida will take a couple days to go get it.
So we don't need all of those spreaders.
Right. You just pick one and,
Well, 24 inches is pretty small, I don't think you need that one.
no, that wouldn't give you any room to even
Yeah, that makes
work
it
on
pretty
pipe,
small.
so. Pipe is 48 and 72.
I would probably have to agree with that.
Yep.
So that should knock that price down. What?
So you're eliminating the other 2?
Yeah,
Leaving the rest of the stuff?
Yeah, I agree that 24 to 36 is probably too small. Other times than 36 to 60, I mean, would be good to have or not?
No, cause you got it covered in the 48, 72.
It'll never be smaller than 48, basically, from what you.
That's a pretty good size. That's pretty small.
Alright.
You guys.
And I think those chains are about $1,300 for the lifting chains, so.
What's that?
The lifting chains were about $1,300 if I remember right, so. But I can get
They're not on here?
no, I can get a price on that, for sure, I guess. I guess I wanted to have you decide which box, and then he could tell me which, chains I would use to get it, so.
So we'll probably have to table it so it gets us the exact one that we need.
Yeah, I would just have him get the quote refinalized so we know what we got.
On
And
the
have him send it
680?
over.
Yeah, on the 680.
Okay.
Add the chain.
And
see
have
if
him
you
not
can-
just send over the boilerplate pictures, actually have him show the stuff that it actually is.
Yeah, that's kinda what
The guy literally just photocopied the catalog and sent it over to us. So, alright. So we're gonna table that, we got a motion and a second to move on at least to get this stuff purchased. If that's okay with everybody. What do I need to do that? Do I need to call for a vote on that then, if we're gonna wait?
Well, then just make a rescind motion.
Yeah, why don't you rescind your
I
motions?
rescind my motion.
I rescind my second.
Thank you,
I move to table.
I second that motion.
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, so yeah, when you get all that, Craig, send it over again, we'll get it finalized and get the spreads put in that too.
Okay.
Alright, moving on to item F, now need a motion approval of a resolution setting compensation for fiscal year 2026 and 2027.
Motion.
Motion by Tammy, second by Ron. These things were all accounted for during our budget session.
Yes.
Any comments, questions, concerns? Alright, roll call please.
Raker,
Yes.
Carmenter,
Yes.
Acenius.
Yep.
Elwick,
Yes.
Stark Mahud,
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Alright, now moving on to item G, approval of pay estimate number 28 for the wastewater treatment plant improvements.
Motion.
Motion by Wes, second by Tammy. I did talk to Emily last week and asked her how the final punch list was coming, and she was supposed to send that out today, and I never saw it, or this week.
I did not see it today, but remember, council, mayor, if you approve this, this is everything but retainage now.
No, there's one that's missing. At the bottom, package booster pump systems at 98. Vertical turbine pumps.
I was talking about. Oh, you're talking about for delivery. I was just looking at the amount to this request, and it should add up to.
Yeah, they're not quite done yet.
There's 3% total.
Yep.
So this wouldn't close it, then, correct?
No, you still have retainage.
Well, there's still money left up in the
Yes, no.
upper part that they haven't finished up yet, and I don't know why that is.
In other words,
But by leaving that open, this is not the last pay app.
my apologies. Yeah. Pretty close though.
Yes.
Yes,
That is very close.
It is June. I want it done, but want it done right too.
Because the next pay app, if they're not gonna do that work, it'll
A deduct.
be a correction pay app and final pay app, and then the next one will be one after that. So. Alright. Any questions? But anyhow, she did say they were very close to being done, and they were working on the punch list stuff that they originally got.
Right.
And they're gonna send out the official one with any of the remaining electrical items. And again, once we get that, I was gonna go out there and just kind of look around with it, so if anybody wants to join me whenever we get that, that'd be great. If not,
Did you want to
do it anyhow, so.
Did you want to come during the punch list, Mr. Mayor?
No, I don't wanna do it with walkthrough, I told her I'd rather go out and look myself without having a bunch of people hanging over my shoulder.
Okay.
Let me know when it is, if you would, please.
All right. I think maybe a couple of council members would like to go to that.
It's always a
Can we
good
find
idea.
walkthrough?
Please, please do.
Okay.
Alright, roll call please.
Acenius.
Yep.
Sellers.
Yes.
Stark Mahud,
Yes.
Carmenter,
Yes.
Raker,
Yes.
Elwick.
Yes.
Alright, now I need a motion for approval of quote from the BYO Recreation for Outdoor Fitness Equipment Safety Tile.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wes, second by Zach. Scott, what do you got?
So this is just for the outdoor fitness equipment. This was outside the original scope. There's a discrepancy on the website who made the equipment, that there is no ASTM standards for outdoor fitness equipment. So we discovered we had a piece that was not in the original instructions, and so we went to find the placement for that original piece on the website, and it had that it required it. And then so we went to the other individual pieces and found out that like 3 more required it. So, and with it being close vicinity to a park, it's meant for kids 13 years and older. So we're just gonna blanket the whole thing with it and walk it. So, the one piece that we do have is 6 foot. The critical wall height 6 foot 6 inches. The difference between 3 1/4 inch thick tile and 2 3/4 of an inch is that 6 inches. So playgrounds typically, or fitness parks typically, do the height of their tallest ball zone. So we have donated funds that's going to cover a majority of it.
So the people who sold you the fitness equipment didn't realize it had to have safety tiles around it?
Was that donated?
What was that?
Was the outdoor fitness equipment donated?
Yes, correct. So on their website,
Just like the bridge.
frequently asked questions, like, in terms of surfacing, there's no standards for it, and then I called the engineer of the actual equipment as we were trying to figure out the layout and everything, and he was like, yeah, I think our website's not updated because that's not true. And on each individual piece, if you go to the piece itself, it has what ones require it. So.
My only complaint is that it wasn't in the budget. And I said, I'm not saying that it isn't needed, but it'd be nice to pull the funds from somewhere else later on down the road.
So I will say about 80 to 85% of this cost will be covered by the donated funds. So it's a safety thing. I think it's in our best interest in terms of the location of that outdoor fitness equipment. We're not going to be able to patrol that 24/7 to make sure, ID kids at the fitness park. I think it's just a safe bet. To be safety cautious on this one, especially from a liability standpoint.
If we don't, and we know about it, that's serious liability, and we've already just all discussed it, so. No turning back.
Roll call.
Senius.
Yep.
Elwick.
Yes.
Stark Mahud.
Yes.
Sellers.
No.
Raker.
Yes.
Parmenter.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item I. Now I need a motion approval of quote from JDM Concrete for the Riverside Park Playground Sidewalk Project.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Zach. Questions, comments? Scott, what do you got on this?
Second time concrete that we put this one out. So I set it up. The one portion of it is slated to be completed by Party in the Park, and then they're gonna come back after Party in the Park, just so we don't have construction and stuff going on. This is a culmination, a partnership between VU and the library, to put story walk panels out. So the library's gonna facilitate that, but we need sidewalk around the playground up there. It's been gravel for however long, and then it adds an additional sidewalk, which you put a big loop of sidewalk, you're gonna bring more people to the park, and not just young kids use the story walk, but we have pretty solid community of walkers.
Have they started the other one?
Yeah, so, for the RFQ for the other one, we had them come in and level the fitness equipment, cause that was the first priority to get in.
Yep.
They're gonna come on the 17th of this month to do the sidewalk up to the shelter, the sidewalk to the fitness pad, the Gaga ball pit pad, and the fitness equipment pad. So the whole Riverside project should be completed by July 1, the Quas Park project.
And this total basically puts you right in budget with what you were thinking, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For the total project.
Yeah. Once again, donated funds from VU, and then the library, I believe, budgeted to put towards the story walk as well for this next year. And then we have budgeted funds for next year to do signage.
Roll call.
Senius.
Yep.
Stark Mahud.
Yes.
Parmenter.
Yes.
Sellers.
Yes.
Raker.
Yes.
Elwick.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item J. Now I need a business improvement grant for Cameron's Clothing. Motion
Second.
by Tammy, second by Zach. Anybody got questions?
Property owner did not sign it.
They sure, they did.
I didn't get a copy of it before the meeting.
Ask for that. Do you have it somewhere?
Right here. I can email it out.
Okay. So you do have a signed copy?
Sure do.
No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nobody? Alright, now I need to review a request for plat survey of East First Street.
Second.
That's just a review.
Oh.
Don't we have to refer it to P and Z?
Yeah, that's what it has to be.
Yeah. Are we referring it right now?
That's what I was.
Perfect.
Yep. It's under the P and Z.
Okay. Thank you.
Reports, Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Been informed by our bond council and also with the end of the legislative session, there have been some changes in the urban renewal areas. So, in other words, if we are to do any TIF districts or any formation of any TIF districts for the future, we need to do those now before the end of the calendar year. And the reason being is any kind of increment that's gonna come off of districts that are formed after January 1, 2027 will have a 40% reduction from what they do right now. So,
All we have to do is create a district.
create districts, either small projects or anything, and they don't have to be triggered. They just have to just be formed. Kind of like, let's say you wanted, somebody in the future may want to do something with East School, or somebody may want to do something with the Seed House, something like that.
So can we just encompass the entire city limits and say we're gonna make it all a TIF district?
I would highly not
Far East.
recommend that.
Far East TIF district.
You can, but I would not recommend that, because that is a surefire way for possibly a future council to possibly drain the entire general fund.
Okay, so you're telling us this because you want us to set up TIF districts?
It would be urban renewal districts for very property specific areas.
You have some good suggestions.
Can we put a flyer out and see if there's any like investors in town that wanna?
Well, just because you form it, don't mean you have to utilize it. It can sit there and wait. It can wait for 23 years.
Well, we don't want a bunch of TIF districts out there.
Well, this is just gonna be urban renewal right now.
Yes, it's just
So we
urban.
could possibly do TIFs later.
It's not just TIFs, but it's also for potential of tax abatements as well. It could be either TIF or tax abatement, not both at the same time. So you could have it very specific for that, set up, ready to go for a future investor, if need be.
We need to do this by April 2027?
No, by January 1, 2027, before then.
So at our next council meeting, can we get an overhead map like this with our current urban districts, urban renewal districts?
Yeah, you can.
That would be great.
Yeah, because I submit one every year.
I'm just showing.
So,
Just look at him, it's his last day.
so it had that. Also, just something to think about, areas to consider. Also, looking at possibility of looking at your GO bonds for the upcoming 4th Street project, fire department pumper, street equipment, and the bridge, our portion that we have to pay after the grant for the bridge. We're doing that, so I'm beginning to have discussions with Tiana about that. And speaking of having discussions with Tiana, I'm also having her to do some financial modeling next week for our development agreement draft as well. So she's going to be working on that, and also finally your LoSAP grant has been executed. So got that paperwork in this week, and that's been executed. And looks like tomorrow we're going to execute the other final grant paperwork for the urban forestry grant.
So to be proactive,
Mm-hmm.
lots of changes in the state on how the cities are gonna be able to budget
Yes,
coming up.
yeah, that's why I mentioned this.
Yeah, I'd kinda like to see what that's going to affect us before we get to the budget session, so we kinda start planning now, because I don't wanna commit to something and find out we're screwing ourselves for next year's budget.
Correct.
So we can start looking into that and get us some. But,
Excuse me, sorry about that.
yeah, but I'd like to find out how that is actually gonna affect our budgets and what we're gonna do.
Hi.
It always
Right.
sounds so dire.
Right, and the bill that was passed was 107 pages. So I've been going through that and seeing what what changes there are, what's been hit, what hasn't. There was talk about 35% maximum amount of cash for a fund balance that you could have, but apparently it seems like it was just restricted to only the school districts, not to the city. Otherwise, how could you do it in capital projects?
Well, that's my concern. How you gonna, they're trying to stymie growth for every small community.
Correct. And the 2% limit as well.
No, we're still working through little bugs out there at the sewer plant, so. We had to get, automatic systems back, the VFDs keep tripping out up there in the Headworks building, so. The guy that did the programming, he quit, I guess, so, but they're all pretty much, they follow the same guidelines under one person, so it shouldn't be, too big of a deal for somebody else to jump in. So. Yeah, everything seems to be working pretty decent. I mean, no one's called about getting flooded, so. But yeah, there's still some bugs we're working out.
You got the heat going in that building yet?
Got a little colder for a while.
So, if you're still having bugs, I don't want any bugs when we go for final
Oh,
acceptance.
right, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there ain't, and nothing's gonna get approved as far as I'm concerned until we're 100% happy.
Yeah, because as soon as we final accept, that's when all the warranty stuff
Right.
starts.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And we can't be playing with bugs
Right.
for
Yep.
issues.
Yeah, and there's no reason that, 1 o'clock this morning, we got a call to, VFD, all 3 VFDs tripped out,
Hi, Carlin.
so.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, it wasn't any high flows. For some reason, power blips and voltage loss seems to trip them out, so I don't. But he made some adjustments on it. We'll see if that helps. He's gonna go back to somebody else that does more of the programming and talk to them about it. So. No, everything seems to be working good. Water seems to drain away, so.
Chief?
Well, with the third reading of the peddlers, we'll get our officers up on the process of that new ordinance. And I know it's been over a year or maybe 2 years since we passed the no parking on 10th Avenue by Marv Lindsay. And then we got posted on the west side of the 10th Ave, but we don't have it posted on the east side yet. I don't know if you remember, Scott, what the holdup was on that. We were waiting for.
They're gonna extend the parking lot out of that next field so we could have more cars, otherwise it's gonna be a disaster out there. There aren't enough room.
Yeah, it's gotten better with the new parking lot on the east side.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because we gave permission to go farther,
Mm-hmm.
but now that it's planted again, that was
Cause they only want half of what they said they were.
yes,
So I said, we can't shut that whole road down until they do that whole thing, cause
I get that.
there's not enough room.
Right, and they didn't have the budget,
Right.
so that might be a different scenario now, so maybe let's revisit with them to see what they wanna
See if they
do.
can do the
But
rest.
if we have to tear up the crops, that's gonna be a cost too.
Oh, that probably,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think,
I don't know if they got.
it doesn't.
Do they have anything
project done.
planted or seeded on the south side,
We got notified by September 1.
south east?
I mean, on south of that parking lot there.
No, I mean I'm off of 10th Avenue, straight south on 10th Avenue and south of the ball
That last mall thing. I think that's just grass for real weeds.
I thought that'd be a perfect spot for parking lot.
This is a thing, tear out the crops or not pay for them.
So is that a conversation that I need to have, or?
I haven't done investment money in it, so.
Cause it switched, so it was Dusty and
Tell me how you really feel about it.
Nate?
It would be on green or something.
They just got rid
Cause Dusty did the original
That's it.
half.
I know we have an ordinance that it's no parking on both sides, but I'm not wanting to force anybody's hand, but we wanna make sure that we're still progressing.
it.
I'm gonna take care of that.
We'll get in touch with them.
Another thing I had, do I need to call the railroad about the crossing on Third Street? That thing is getting worse, seems like. Is that something that our city takes care of, or is?
That's on them.
Yeah, we can't touch the railroad right away.
It definitely hurts when you hit it at 45.
Yeah. At what speed?
On the golf cart.
So, but that's all I had.
Your golf cart does 45?
Yes. It's tuned up.
Is that on your little horse scooter?
No, that's one. I goes 45 too.
That's all I had.
So, farmer's market, we had our second farmer's market, so every Thursday, 5 to 7 at Celebration Park. If you wanna come on down and join us for that, our first one, we had 23 vendors, the most we've ever had was 28, and that was last year, so we had Party in the Park makeup stuff, so, we're looking good for farmer's market this year. Party in the Park is July 16th, 17th, and 18th, of July. We're partnering with the PD for their National Night Out event on Thursday night, the 16th. So they're gonna bring sheriff's department and fire department and everything, and we're gonna have more of a beefed up kids night between both of our events. So looking forward to that. The mini golf course on Monday is going to be removed. So tomorrow, me and the park guys are gonna go out and we're gonna get the fixtures taken out. I have taken, or I found who made what, so we're gonna take those to the park shop and I'm gonna contact those families before we decide what to do with those next. Had to close the pool for, I think it was 4 days a week ago, just routine water test that we take up to a lab.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
We probably all heard about it from somebody or.
Yeah.
I did go down to Coralville to stay hygienic lab for it.
Yep, and I went to our normal lab and then a lab in Cedar Falls to get test samples from there. We ran multiple times to get them, so we contacted our pool guy, and he was baffled. We contacted the state inspector, he was baffled, so just started changing variables and went from there. Called Roto-Rooter to scope out pipes to see if there possibly could be anything dead that's caught in there. No cat. So we've been back open. Swim lessons are going really well. We're gonna start a second group swim lessons next week that start in the morning. So our family swim will kick back up next week. But other than that, as long as the weather doesn't keep raining, we'll be open there. So that's all I got.
Is Park House officially dead?
Yes, so we're kind of at the point where, after talking with Melissa, we've been through the process of putting it on gov deals, so, we can start like outreach to individuals if they want to purchase it and move it, and go from there.
Do you have the bidders contact, like, do they give you that stuff if they bid on gov deals? Like, reach out to other people that bid on it?
I don't know if they do or not.
Oh, if there's that many bidders.
It was, yeah, 365
Oh,
bucks out of it or something like that.
No.
265?
130.
Oh.
130.
Well, we keep doing that.
We've been beat.
A few dozen times, we're up to $1,000.
Right?
But, so that's all I got.
So when did the guy bail?
When?
3 months ago.
It was questionable from the start, to be
Well, I
honest.
figured that.
He got his lyrics.
His deadline was up
There should be some.
the very end of April.
Just check.
We received his money.
Okay. Scotty?
Seal coatings began, we've got roads prepped and sealed, we've got about 12 blocks done, so we have another mile and a half to go. And it's really. Drops.
As long as we're not doing it right before rain.
Nope.
We've been through that scenario.
Especially 13th Street.
Yes. Melissa?
Thinking about next year's budget, I did listen to a webinar from the league. They just had a kind of overview, and a lot of what they're saying is there's a ton of changes. Be patient. There's not a whole lot of direction on things yet, so hang tight as everyone navigates. Like the LSA hasn't come out yet on the fiscal impacts, and so more to come for sure, but we're thinking about it. Next Thursday, I'm gonna be at my annual clerk school for a day in Ames, so I'll be out, but that's it.
Any questions for everybody?
I know we have a work session next council meeting.
Yes.
Can we add that meeting deal that we've been working with Doug on to that?
Yeah, we
work
can.
session?
Yeah, Dakota has been taking the lead on this, amending some of our ordinances about people taking notes, secretaries, we're trying to get them all cleaned up, so it's been going well.
You're already meeting at 6:15, I believe.
What's that for?
Yeah.
And maybe you can add, I don't know if it has to be on there, if we can talk about e-school, Brian, but it's about the building permits and like recording them, with the, I don't know,
So they
assessors
show up
for
on
like
the
the roofs
assessor.
and stuff like that, going to switch insurance and stuff.
So
like
they
that.
show up on the assessor or wherever.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like we require a permit for a roof right now, so I don't know if that has to change, but basically common sense, building permit changes. But yeah, I guess if we can talk about e-school at the same time, since he's already there, it'd be decent time to do that, since as a new owner.
Tried to call Carl today, didn't get an answer, but usually he's pretty good. No updates on airport.
I talked to Joe Rosenfeld today, and he said they're going to be shifting focus in the very near future onto our stuff, which means I'll be in contact with them next week.
Very good. Good to hear.
So they haven't been focusing on our stuff. That's all I heard.
I did make the call.
Good, thank you.
It's probably not a good response. We'll soon be focusing on your stuff, even though we've been telling you it needs to be a focus.
So,
Okay.
is that the only thing that was on the meeting at 6:15?
But I know.
So we don't really even have to change the time, if we're just adding a couple of
Yeah.
things?
I would just add on to
I
the
think it'd be
school and the
fine.
meeting thing. If we don't
We
get
can get
through
it
it
all
all, we
done
don't
in
get
45,
through
I imagine.
Depends on how long-winded you're gonna be, Dakota.
I don't know. Might have to join via Zoom, so I'm 20 minutes behind everybody.
Yeah, see how many more note revisions we go through on that thing? Now
Yeah,
that you
pretty
figured out how
cool.
to use Word.
I still don't know how to use it. It's not something I use in my profession, so. 18 years since I had to use Word.
Well, that whole note thing is fairly new.
I don't even know how to do that.
You gotta
I
go
didn't even
through-
see that it was like you had made comments. I'm like, I'm not dumb, but I cannot see where Bud made comments. So.
Psych.
Yeah. Then he's like, yeah, you're pretty dumb. Here it is.
Hey, let's see if we can find them comments.
Yeah.
All right, good and welfare. Well, I think we're out of the drought again, so. Anything else? Congratulations again to the entire Benton Police Department.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's awesome. So,
Looking forward to partying in the park.
That's a little bit, yeah.
It's 2 weeks, isn't it?
County fair is 2 weeks.
Oh, crap. I just mixed them up.
Great, now a whole bunch of people are gonna
Yeah, I'm
come
going to the
party
county
in the
fair.
park.
That's what I meant. I knew I was never home for one of them.
No
So.
one watches these things.
My bad.
All right.
They watch them.
I think last week's got a couple games.
Yeah, it did. I've got more comments about that than anything else. I did get a lot of comments. Good thing Tammy pulled you away. So, I'll need a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Motion, second.
All those in favor?